Are you stuck in a rut? Ah! I'm going to say hello to my super chatters, my inner circle, my imaginators. Hi, Craig, a visionary. Wow, we got all kinds of great people. Hi, Bill. Hi, Matthew, my incredible son, imaginator, inner circle. Visionary. Hi, Jody. Hi, Ola from Sweden. Hi, Melody. Hi, Michael. Hi, Kai. Great to have you guys here. And wow, just like that, we're here. Okay, so let's get started. Are you stuck in a rut? Now, listen, I know a lot of people that have all kinds of words for this. When there's a lot of words to something, sort of makes you think, hey, this is such a deal that everyone's got a different name. So listen to this. Stuck in a rut, feeling stagnant, in a slump, in a funk. You guys can think of other ones, dump them in here. Stuck in a loop, going through the motions. I guess I'm just going through in deadlock, in a rut, in a holding pattern, like airplane, feeling bogged down, spinning your wheels, and a doldrum, in a stalemate, the hamster wheel. Good one, good one, good one. Stuck in a groove like a record. That's funny, man. A vinyl record. Feeling trapped in a lull, Lull, and a standstill, in a repetitive cycle, stuck in a routine, in a stagnant phase, depressed, anxious, nervous. See, there's a lot of words that we use and a lot of phrases that we use for this mindset, right? For this, I'm lost. I can't believe that one didn't come up. On the struggle bus. Yes, Jody. Dazed and confused. Pet bogging. Scared. Yes. Fear. I'm scared. And so it's pretty amazing that we have all of these thoughts and all these phrases for that feeling that we have, because it's a feeling. It's a feeling in our and that we have where we're just in neutral. Wow, as a mechanic, yeah, people sometimes can be in reverse, but when you're in neutral, you're not going anywhere, and feel like a parked car. So now let's talk about this. The very first thing to do is acknowledgement. If you guys have seen this all over the world, there's all kinds of organizations that deal with Al-Anon and AA and all these things. Is number one, you have to acknowledge. And in a lot of 10-step programs, you got to stand up. Hi, I'm Robert Hollis, and I'm imagining addict. I can't stop imagining and get jacked up about my bigger future. Stuck. Now I'm more than unstuck. All right. So first thing is acknowledgement. Acknowledge. I think I'm in a rut. I'm stuck. I got limited blocks. You know what I mean? I need a breakthrough, which we do on Thursday nights at Inner Circle. So first is acknowledgement. The second one, this is difficult. You just basically have to take ownership for it. Now, I'm talking about ownership in the problem, ownership in the solution, ownership in action, implementation, execution of that solution. And you just have to own it. Now, whenever I tell people that, tell them that, they go right back into the loop. They go right back. They go, listen, wait a minute. How can I take ownership when it was totally out of my control? Well, tell me what it is. My girlfriend or boyfriend, they broke up with me. So it's their fault. So you'll notice that everything in life, listen closely, everything in life is usually, things that are out of our control. You know what I'm saying? There's so little of things that are in our control. So taking fault for something or saying it's my fault, or I'll take part ownership in that, or whatever. So whenever I bring this up, it's pretty amazing that it's not really just the ownership of it, but it's more the concept of just controlling your reaction to it. I am not aware, honestly, of something that I see that's really like for me, a thing I don't want to imagine is having a child, a child die. Oh, wow. And we hear this all the time. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed, 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 blessed. And I pray protection and health and abundance and love on my children ever since they were born. So it's my consistent praying for them. And I've been very, very, very blessed with our health and all that stuff. So now the next thing is you'll see one group of people where a child will die. And then you hear these awful stories that the rest of the kids go, well, no one gives a rip about us anymore. And then the couple breaks up and everyone just doesn't know how to get out of that awfulness, that ugliness, that tragedy. And I'm not belittling or saying anyone else's tragedy is not bad. And so here's the example. So you got one couple that's totally destroyed. They're all stuck. They're all in a rut. And for those of you that don't know what a rut is, that's deep trenches that you're driving in, usually on a muddy road, and you're just stuck in it. You can't get out of it. You try to turn your steering wheel and you can't get out. And it just keeps going like that. The definition of a rut is the grave that grave, a dug grave with the ends knocked out. And people are just like, a ball in a trench. You know what I mean? Or like a person on a slide. You're just bouncing off the ends, but nothing's changing. And so you'll see that couple totally destroyed. Everyone feels awful for them, and it's just bad. Then you see another group of parents, and those groups of parents turn a bill or a law into effect. I mean, they do just the opposite. They go, you know what? We lost our child. It's devastating. But what we're going to do is we're going to do something in their honor, and they go on petitions and they get a group together and a community that's all the same way. And then what they do is they start a nonprofit organization and they speak all over the world. And then they get a bunch of people in a community to put signatures and everything to go to their congressmen or their senators. And then they end up passing a law. Do any of you know a law that's named after a child? No, Amber Alert. Wow. So there's a couple that had a tragedy with their child dying, and they turned it into now when a child gets kidnapped, even though it's by the other parent, maybe in a bad divorce or custody deal, and an Amber Alert goes out. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So it's not only taking responsibility for it, but it's more control of your reaction to the situation. Because you guys know people, some people, if they make a mistake or they lose or they get rejection, it just fuels them. That's me. Not that this always has been me, but I can control my emotions and reactions to a bad situation. So now when you look through the world right now, you got wars, you got people protesting, we got a bad economy, we got an election, there's riots and stuff happening all over the world. Everyone right now is really under pressure because of financial situations, and so everyone feels out of control because what they're doing is each and every day they're watching the news, they're hearing about all this awfulness, all this ugliness, and we become who we hang around. Now, a lot of people like today, because of TV, radio, um, news outlet, reality shows, all this stuff. People that you hang around doesn't mean that you're face to face with them. You know, I have virtual mentors. I used to have virtual complainers. So it's the amount of information that's constantly coming in from social media and the news and everything. And if you hang around a bunch of people that are stuck in a rut and they're complaining about, the 99% against the 1%, and these people suck, and these companies suck, and this government sucks, you become in the environment that you're constantly plugging in. So it's really hard to get out of a rut or get unstuck or get rid of limiting stuff if you're not willing to change what's coming in. Are you guys hearing me here? Very, very, very important. Because once you do that, now all of a sudden you got a lot of other things you can do. When you start ownership, it's not like I can't control that someone killed my child. See, there's no control over that. So what you do is you take ownership in it. Thank you very much, Jody, for becoming a inner circle member for a year. So that is, and I love all the super chatters. Thank you. And so that's what you got to realize is when you take ownership and now you're able to control just your reaction to all this stuff. Now, what you start doing is going, maybe I should spend my time more doing this than scrolling negative media. Maybe I should start doing this instead of doing a bunch of other stuff. So it was simple for me. My mentor just simply asked me, "Hey, Robert, have you seen this book?" No. You need to go to Barnes and Noble, a bookstore. Can you believe that? This is back 37 years ago, and get The Greatest Miracle in the World. And I need you to go get that book, and I just want you to do your best in reading it. That book altered and changed everything in my life because m my whole life was just influenced by the opinions of other people. I've never said that phrase in my entire life. So it was the people that are constantly around me that constantly said, you're not the sharpest tool in the shed because you can't write and read and spell because you're dyslexic. I was special. I got to go to a special school. I'm riding the short bus. You know what I mean? I'm learning disability. You know what I mean? And they're saying all this stuff. They couldn't even diagnose it back in those days. So it was this constant stuff that I heard that sort of made me sort of introverted, not a people person. Why not focus on building, repairing a bike or building a bike or a go-kart? I was the guy that was always by myself working on something. And then that turned into cars, right? And so if I'm not working on cars, I'm at the racetrack. So I got like 3 friends and they're also auto mechanics. And I'm just in a rut, just doing what I'm supposed to do. Any of you resemble that remark? You know what I mean? So now I'm just like hamster wheel. Now I'm just doing same stuff over and over again. It's not living, it's just existing. Same crap, different day. And so I totally get this, get up, didn't want to jump on my motorcycle, drive all the way to work, punch in, now I got lunch and it's like, you guys get it. You know what I mean? Now you finally get home and you're tired and and you don't have much money anyway. You know what I mean? So then you rest up and do it all over again. And so I just wasn't living. I lost my inspiration and drive for being a mechanic. And without a shadow of a doubt, bam, you know, everything's changed. and I get hurt on the job, and now I'm making workman's comp, right? So now when you think about what do you need to do? My mentor just asked me to read as much as I could each day. And then also in this book there's an assignment. And so I'm going to do that. So the very first thing you do is just change your environment. When I say this to people, they just go, I don't know about this, right? And so let me share this with you. Imagine, here's an imagination, right? I'm going to pay you $250,000 a year. I'm going to pay for your travel and relocation expenses. And then what I'm also going to make sure is you have all the benefits you can possibly think. One catch, you got to move. You have to move. So all of a sudden, there's a group that I know that are still in Williston, North Dakota, where I grew up. They ain't leaving. They ain't never going to leave. So the first thing is when you acknowledge, why do I feel this way? Why am I depressed? Why am I uninspired? Why don't I have someone that in my life that inspires me? Who's my role model? You say, who's a role model to people, and they go, what are you talking about? you know and so, first you got to do is you just got to get rid of all the distractions, change your environment. And then what you got to do is, a lot of people know this, back in the day when there wasn't the internet, and I sound so old when I say that. There wasn't internet or cell phones. How I would go to work is I would change my environment. So I moved out to Detroit, Michigan, and ran ads in newspapers and found this incredible woman named Lynn Martinez, who's dating Mike Kupis. And then I worked with him and his identical twin, and I ran him all the way to the top, to the top of NSA. And this was back in the 80s, late 80s. And so, changing my environment, when I get around, a new environment, then guess what? I'm really no distractions, because I'm not at home. I'm away from my family. I don't like that. And now I'm around a bunch of strangers in a strange area. So now what I get to do is just bam, that's what I gotta do. Right. And so the other one is, like I just talked about, start small. Anyone that wanted to do anything that felt like they're in the rut, all I would do is tell you, do something that your mind will tell you. For me, it was called reduce to the ridiculous. Reduce to the ridiculous. See, if I told you to read a book, like we have, one of my favorite gifts is The Science of Getting Rich. And so if I told you that I need you to go through the audios, and then I need you to go through the book with the audios, and then I even plug into the mastermind. So after you get that done, then we had a bunch of people that came up with their own thoughts. And when you reduce it to the ridiculous, what if I told you, listen, I need you to listen to 1 minute a day? Your mind goes, oh, I can do more than that. See, that's when people look at it, they go, oh my God, there's like hours and hours of videos here. See, that elephant is too big. Now, all of a sudden, we don't. But if we said, listen, I want you to do one push up a day, one push up a day, I'll synthesize it, if that's a word. So what I'll do is, if you can send me a video, send me a short video of you doing one push up, and I want you to do it for 100 days. Eric, thank you so much. I love and appreciate you. So do it for 100 days, one push up. See, this is this whole concept behind a penny a day for 30 days. See, our minds don't quite grab geometric progression, nor do they talk about doing something for long periods of time. And so, again, what if I told you I'll give you $100,000 100 days from now if you sent me a video of you doing one push up? Do you know how many people would miss up on that? See, that's when you got to really understand who we are as human beings. It's easy to do, it's easier not to do. And I want to give shout out to Eric because Eric's been sending me every day that he reads chapter 9 and the science and the greatest miracle in the world. And Eric, I'm proud of you, right? So, so that's the other thing, reduce to the ridiculous. Establish a routine. The best way to do a ritual, I put in RICH-AUL, is doing a ritual is something that some of you brush your teeth. Some of you got a ritual when you get up and have a cup of coffee. For me, after I do that, then it's time to go to the bathroom. So it's pretty interesting that we all got this routine, right? But we are ritual, and we got to learn to build a ritual, and we will not. I repeat, will not. We got to learn to do it all the time. It just becomes what we do. Ola, thank you so much, man. I love and appreciate you. What an incredible thing. The kids will love it. And so that's something as far as a ritual. In that ritual, you want to do something, whether it's journaling or doing a gratitude journal. Sometimes I tell people, when you want to see how silly we are as human beings, if I asked you to write 3 words every day in a journal on what you're grateful for. People that are the most successful people in the world, Oprah Winfrey said that, when Quincy Jones shared that with her, all I want you to do is every day write things down that you're grateful for. It'll alter and change who you are. That's why that assignment's in the greatest miracle in the world. And so, some people learn to, like me, I not only pray, but I also meditate. And so I don't miss a day in doing this. When it was taught to me, I'm going, if this guy makes that kind of money, makes, $750,000 a year, and he says that he spends time every day meditating, I'm going to do it. Was it easy? No, it's not. So everything that's easy, it's easier not to. But once you start doing these little things, and your mind will start going, I can do that and finish that. I can do that and finish that. I remember one time I was talking to a guy and I said, "What was your key to success?" And he said, "You know what?" He said, "I ran into a very successful person and he listened to my life story and he said, you need to do something for me and it'll change your whole life." And the guy said, "What?" And he said, "Finish something. Just frickin' finish something." Wow. Uh, so how many people know people that got a million things going on and they finish nothing? And when people say, "Well, I don't know what that finish would be," most companies have a hierarchy or a level ranking system like video games. It's like when you become a CEO, that would be probably the top of the corporate ladder, right? Unless you were an owner, a person that started a company. But between coming in and being a janitor, there's a lot of levels above that. And some people are just staying neutral and they won't do anything to be unique, to be positive, like it says, and go the extra mile. When I learned the concept of reaping and sowing, that's when I knew that as long as I keep putting in the extra mile, as long as I'm reliable, as long as I just keep doing what I need to do. And so that's when I started doing it. The other thing is here is, again, I talked about role models. So all of us can find things that we listen to, that are we connect to, and it's not positive. But I love autobiographies. I love documentaries. Every time I see one, I share with people. If you haven't seen the one with Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger, there's so many documentaries of so many athletes and movie stars and authors, everything. There's so many documentaries of people's hero's journey. And the consistencies that you'll see is they're always doing well and then they're not. And then they're always doing better and then they're not. And so, like Jim Rohn, one of my mentors, said, is cycles keep happening. After winter comes spring, after spring comes summer. After summer comes fall, and it's just this cycle. And the goal is to, when you hit winter, that you're a little higher than you were before. If your life feels like Groundhog Day, you know what I mean? Then a change is due. If you're unsatisfied in any area of your life, a change is due. You know what I mean? And we have a podcast for that, right? There's a podcast or a video out there. I almost at 2,000 videos where you got to find new experiences. You got to find things that you can imagine that makes your life better. And then, like an elephant, just take off one piece at a time. All right. So find, I like this podcast, books, TED Talks. You know what I mean? I'm on a lot of people's podcasts that really get me super excited. We have a community, not only of the inner circle, but the imaginators. And Deb Erickson last night was saying, I'm sorry, just Deb. You was saying, listen, her whole life, and Rebecca, and a lot of people say, when you're in a community of people that that are all encouraging you, because the thing that happened to me was one person, my uncle, said, Bobby, you're good at doing that stuff. Did you rebuild those bikes and that snowmobile and that go-kart? Yes, sir. He goes, man, you're good at that. You're good at that. And he said, hey, you should go to school, college. And if you get a little piece of paper that say you're good at it, you'll get paid more money. And I was like, so, and then I met my mentor 37 years ago, and he goes, oh my God, you're a master automotive technician. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh my God, this business is easy. He goes, you're going to crush this. And that's when I went, wow, really? So, you hang around people that encourage you and tell you you can do it and believe in you. And that's what we have in the inner circle and also the imaginators. So, plug in and connect with others that are all, you know, doing the same thing. Now everyone's encouraging you. Recently in Inner Circle, we did personality traits. And when everybody found out what personality trait they are, and also the successful people that are in that trait, that really brings you up. Um, some people, my son Matthew talked about this last night on the Inner Circle, is sometimes we just got to ask for help. People all the time ask me, and in my book, how is that working? Um, I still say to this day that the thing that I did was ask for help. Now, when you learn to ask for help and ask people to, do you a kindness, do me a personal favor, please help me. When you can master that, then you get to talk to all the people that now can help you. Mr. Rogers said it best, right? His mom told him, always look for the helpers. Always look for the helpers. And so most people find that weak, or they are taught that, we're not supposed to ask for help. Man, when I asked for help, and believe it or not, the first ask was, a higher power, I was at wit's end. Things couldn't have been worse in my life. Was thinking about taking myself out. So now when you ask for help, now all of a sudden you open things up, like your mind's like a parachute. It only works when it's open. And so, what else do I have here? And reflect, constantly reflect and adjust. A lot of people, if you get into an imaginary state of something that you would like to accomplish in your life, virtually everything can be done by the service of many. The only way to greatness is the service of many. So for me, not that I'm a creator of a company or a creator of a concept or idea, but I'm really good at finding other people that have already come up with concepts and ideas, and I can learn from them and just do what they do. And, I used to make nothing from my YouTube channel, and now we've made over $17,000 with our YouTube channel. All I did is find someone that was documented, that had evidence that they not only today, I got everybody reaches out to me and goes, I'd like to help you with my social media. I mean, your social media, your YouTube channel. And I'm like, hey, can I look at yours? So, and they're sending me the message from a fake profile. And it's usually on my business page that has 160,000 followers. And then I go to theirs and they got 11. So you not only want to learn from people that have evidence of what they're currently doing, but also the evidence of being able to teach other people. This is one of the biggest ones out there. A person can't take you to a place they've never been. So recently, I thought it was unique that, they came out with a new list of the top earners in this industry. And I was extremely honored. I'm not only been inducted in the Hall of Fame, but I hit the top 10 with $60 million in earnings. And the figure that I love more is the 67 people that I helped earn over a million in commissions. The hundreds of thousands of people that I've gotten an extra check into their pocket. See, that's what impresses me, that this plaque right here, seven-figure earner, is not mine, it's my wife's, Terry's. See, I that's what motivates me. That's what makes me do things, is I wanna help other people live out their imagination, turn imagination into reality. And so, it's really, really important that, there's two kinds of people out there. Well, in this list, I was going to finish that story. In this top 60, I looked at it and I went, wow, not one of these people are a life coach. Not one of these people are doing 15 different companies. What a concept. How can you build true residual freedom and income if you're in a new company every 60 days? See, now we can go full circle. I get in a company every month or every 2 months or every 6 months or every year or every 2 years, like girlfriends, their relationships. And I'm like, first, you got to take responsibility that you get very, very excited at the beginning, but then you lose your enthusiasm, and then you find someone that has enthusiasm and they get you to start all over. It's like crazy. How can you build something of substantial if you're like, oh, hey, how many McDonald's restaurants do you own? None. How many times have I built groups of, tens of thousands of people? Seven times. See, so everyone in that list that, are gurus and, authors and coaches and trainers and, you know, man, to me, that's a job. And I've done it. Didn't like it. I build and then I have to start over. Build and I got to start over. Build, I got to start over. Come out with a new course, come out with a new, course, come out with a new course, come out with another seminar. It's like, how can you build residual income around that? So I tried it. It didn't work for me. I like climbing up that rank. I love climbing up the ranks in there. What do I got to do to be number 9, number 5, number 2, number 1? And money doesn't buy you happiness, but neither does poverty. The true joy and fulfillment always is into the pursuit, the journey to getting to your imagination. Happiness is, these small moments in our life that, we got it. And how many of you worked really, really hard for something and you got it, and then you went, wow, this ain't doing it for me anymore. The people that are full of joy and full of fulfillment and helping other people are people that are focused on, I want to have and will have. I will have over a million people active in my organization on subscription. No doubt. It's been my imagination for years, and I just keep getting closer and closer and closer. So it's going to happen. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you could do me a kindness and a huge personal favor, I'd really appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel and then also click on that little bell. If you would please comment, make any kind of comments. I just love that, whether it's live or recorded. I wish that all the things that showed up in the live chat would show up in the comments. So if you're looking at this video, the comment should be someplace if this is the live video. Um, just get involved. Tomorrow we're doing a Ask Me Anything at 3 o'clock Eastern time. I have people come on. You can go to roberthollis.com forward to the chat, the AMA. Ask me anything. I've been doing them for years and years and years and years. You can come on there live and ask me any question, either in the chat or come on live to the Zoom. So we're definitely here for you. And share this video with others. So if you know people that are stuck in all those things that I talked about, you know what I mean? The fastest way to get out of anything in life is through imagination. So on Sundays, we do what is called the Imaginators at 3 Eastern time. And all the money that we bring in from people join that, we give money to the Jesus Way, the orphans, and the people without parents. They don't have their biological parents, and so I love and appreciate you. And if no one's ever told you that, they give you permission to be fulfilled and successful in any definition that you have, let me give that to you because that's what my mentors did to me. I know you can do this. If you were where I am and our places were changed, I'd pray to God that you would find a way to get through to me. Because as long as you're listening to a bunch of people that are have nots, you're going to be a have not. And all the people that told you you couldn't be a have, you can be an have. You can get out of that rut, get out of that, whatever you want to call it. And then also stop saying that. So we'll see you on the other videos. I love and appreciate you. Take care and God bless.